This is Rob Snowhite. I'm going to teach you how to tie my take on Mike Decoteau, aka RedSpotFly, his evil twin. Move that out of the way so you can see. Very simple fly to tie, very inexpensive, very effective. So I'm going to sit down, hopefully I don't get in the way, and I'm going to show you how to tie this very, very simple fly. So the ingredients we're going to start off with is going to be a Senyo's articulated shank, 40 millimeter black. From there, Berkeley Fireline 30-pound smoke. Senyo's Fusion Dub in Pink Lady. My first substitute, flat diamond braid in chartreuse. I'm also going to omit the ribbing. Guinea feathers in pink. Then I'm going to add temple fox fur, chartreuse. Then Arctic fox fluorescent pink. I will add in some Lady Amherst plumes. Finish it off with just a little bit of flash. The motif of this fly is going to be chartreuse and pink. Kind of goes with my watermelon series of hoppers. And if someone ever asks you what a motif is, you tell them it's what old people say in the home when they can't find their dentures. And then at the end of this, I'm going to put on a Matzuo America size 6 octopus hook. I'm using a Regal Vise. And my bobbin of choice, as always, is going to be a Rite Bobbin. My thread of choice is 12-aught silk. Notice how thin and light this is. It sticks up in the air for the most part. Very difficult to break. You start wrapping. You want to seal that off. Wrap to the back. Okay. I'm going to put on the first strand. Remember, Brett McRae from Chagrin River Outfitters gave me that hack, that if you tie on 2 strands, if one of these loops breaks off on a fish or a snag, you still have one more. Fold it over, thus further confirming that this shall not come out. So I fished with Mike Decoteau for carp just over a year ago off of the Ohio State University on the Olentangy River. And I think I fully talked his ear off. He probably never wants to fish with me again. I think he was looking for more solitude, but that's not me. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of Wapsi Z-Ment just as the final and last measure to keep this from breaking. I would use clear cure goo, but I hit this with my light at some point and clogged the applicator. So that will not work. From here, I am going to pull the thread down, and then I am going to put on a big butt of dubbing. I'm going to twist it on. I could very well use a dubbing loop here, but why not? This is expensive thread. Don't need to waste it. And just start wrapping that. You want to make a big old badonkadonk booty on this fly. Twisty, twisty. Try and get this to form a nice tight ball. And a little bit more just to finish it off. A couple wraps there just to ensure we got that big old butt. Next, flat braid. Instead of using chartreuse dubbing, wrap this up. And now we have what I like to think of as a skinnier waist on this fly, which gives a good contrast between the pinks and the greens. So you noticed I ended there with the fire wire. So I'm going to double this up a little bit to fill in that blank. I'm going to find my scissors. One thing you should never do when tying is put your scissors down, because see, I just had to look for them. Alright, guinea fowl. You can use your B squad here. These don't have to be fancy. What we're going to do is just tie this in, palmer it until it's used up, And then we're going to fold it down below the fly. So I tied it in, just wrap it. You want to make sure that there are no fibers sticking forward that you're going to wrap over. This is pretty cool looking as it is. You can absolutely leave this up. However, we are going to start stacking the rest of the materials. Now you've noticed this is very few steps, very few ingredients, very effective. This is the first Intruder that I learned to tie based off of steelheadalleyflytying.blogspot.com. So you can see the fly now. Now what we're going to do is fold these down. So it's going to kind of look like it's got its hands behind its back. And just like this, bring the thread around. So I brought the thread around like that. And now I am just wrapping these down. There you go. You got a little stray one there, that's fine. You can always just boop. Alright, so that's what the fly looks like now. Next, we're going to take the temple fox fur. Get a nice long clump. I wish Orvis had a couple more colors of this stuff, more in steelhead colors. I'm going to go over to my trash can this way, and I'm going to clean off any, what I'm going to do is this. Pull off any loose pieces. Clean this edge up nicely. We're going to tie that in right there. These look much better than the ones I used to tie 3 years ago. They've definitely evolved. From there, take that Arctic Fox. This one, it's kind of short. You can also use, this is from Jim Bensinger from Project Healing Waters. This is his alpaca that he dyes. Alright, find a nice long piece. Just like in that movie Funny Farm, we're going to pull them low and cut them high. And again, we're going to clean off any kind of just pieces we don't want in there. And I'll just vacuum these up later. Okay. Get a nice clean edge there. I think I used a little too much. That's fine. So what I can do here is only get the tip, the long ones. Whoa, did you see what happened there? That's how you ensure just the long ones. You grab the tip and pull. I'm going to put a couple of these back in. Fly tying. It's interpretive. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Now we're going to do the Lady Amherst. And my choices are go pink or chartreuse first. I'm going to go chartreuse first. I'm going to get a nice long one from here. Pinch that. Tie it in front of that bulge to cover it up. Fancy schmancy. We're looking good. Then I'm going to take pink. Remember, you have a short side and a long side. So these are shorter. These are longer. I'm going to grab this one. So notice how cutting from here, which is all pink, versus that is all black. I'll probably use this one if I do a black motif. Remember what motif are? Good. Okay, so they should lay flat on top of each other. As David Attenborough states, they zip together when you pull them. Now I'm going to add in just a little bit of flash here, just to kind of, brighten things up. Double this down, fold it, do one laterally on this side, and then one on the other side. That one's too short. Here's one from earlier. I was looking for hooks on my floor earlier and found a couple of strands that fell down. And just to be a little further creative, we got some short ones here. Let's just tie those in right over the Lady Amherst. Right there. All right. I'm going to wrap forward, cover up all that schmutz all those loose ends. We're almost done. I could use a fancy knot tying tool, but I'm just going to whip finish or half hitch. Take my fingers, one finger. Notice the dye on this thread has come off on my fingers. One of the downfalls of it. So that's good. That's loaded, locked. Let us seal it a little bit more. Just hit it with a little bit of that. And now if I can find them on my desk here, Matzuo America hooks. Here we go. So we're going to put on a Matzuo America size 6 black chrome octopus hook. These are crazy sharp, so be careful with them. And if you don't know how to attach these, this is why I use firewire and not intruder wire. Just pinch that there, thread it through. I find that this, when it works, is easier to pinch than intruder wire. This also has a little bit better texture to it, which helps it stand tight up against the shank when you wrap it. Alright, that one doesn't want to work. Let's do this one. That made it through. We're going to pull on it. Get it, split the fire wire. Don't have the best light down here in the basement, so I can't exactly see. Come on. Try doing this on the river when it's like 35 degrees and snowing and raining. There we go. And pull. And that is the fly right there. Mike Decoteau's evil twin, as interpreted by me. Hope y'all enjoy that. Be sure to listen to the podcast. Fly Fishing Consultant podcast on iTunes.